Right now, a vote expected on the House floor in less than 2 hours on a resolution to strip controversial Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments. If it passes in the Democrat-controlled House, it would be an unprecedented step against a member of the opposite party. House Republicans declining to take any action against Greene after meeting with her this week. The freshman Republican has been criticized for embracing false QAnon conspiracy theories and calling school shootings hoaxes, also appearing to endorse violence against top Democrats. Her assignments on the Education, Labor, and Budget committees are at stake in today's vote, which could happen around 1:30 p.m., but she would keep her seat in Congress. Also on Capitol Hill, the House taking steps to get more money into the hands of Americans who continue to struggle financially in this pandemic. They approved a budget resolution yesterday, moving forward with the process that would allow them to pass President Biden's near $2 trillion COVID relief package. Without Republicans here, the president and top congressional Democrats have been vocal about wanting support from both sides of the aisle, but warning they will move forward even if Republicans drag their feet. Republican senators have proposed a scaled-down plan at $600 billion. Mr. Biden, however, standing firm on some aspects of his package, including those $1,400 stimulus payments. He has expressed a willingness to narrow the list of Americans eligible for the money to low and moderate income families. The Senate is expected to approve a budget measure this week to move forward with the reconciliation process. The debate over stimulus checks and unemployment coming as nearly 18 million Americans are still without a job. First-time claims for unemployment totaling 779,000 last week. That's according to new figures just released from the U.S. Labor Department. It is better than analysts had expected. Here in Georgia, about 27,000 people filed first-time claims last week. That is down by about 1,300 from the week before. Turning to COVID-19 in Georgia now, and the number one question the 11Alive digital team continues to see people ask right now is, how can I get a COVID-19 vaccine? The state has now given out more than 1 million shots, about half of which have gone to seniors. But our current supply line is still limiting how many are being distributed each day. Brittany Kleinpeter joining us live from Brookhaven. The governor visiting a vaccination site there a few hours ago. Brittany, what did he have to say? Any big update?
So the governor mainly talked about the vaccine supply. He was at this Kroger on Peachtree Road Northeast. He said that everything is running smoothly. They're getting people in and out. They're getting them vaccinated. But the problem remains with the supply that they're getting from the federal government. He added that he talked to hospital CEOs this week, and they were saying that they've seen a 20% decrease in COVID-19 patients. He also added that he's hopeful that this is all because of their COVID-19 vaccination efforts. He did say that he is worried if we don't get more supply that this could slow down the process to vaccinate Georgians.
Some of the bigger systems like Grady and others, they literally have hundreds of thousands of patients that are eligible for the vaccine right now that they can't get the vaccine to because of the supply.
The governor is hopeful. He's looking towards the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, saying that he hopes that it could improve conditions here in Georgia by next month. Back to you.
All right, Brittany, a lot of folks waiting for that particular vaccine, as it is one dose as opposed to the two that we're seeing right now. The Gwinnett County Health Department is opening up a mass vaccination clinic at the former Gwinnett Place Mall. So this clinic opens tomorrow, but with a limited supply. The big launch is on Saturday when more than 1,000 people will be vaccinated. Pediatricians now saying, put us in here, coach. They want to help administer shots to speed up the process of slowing down the virus. The American Academy of Pediatrics says pediatricians are experts when it comes to giving vaccines. They give shots to kids, teens, and young adults all the time. In fact, this week, the group issued guidance saying their members could play an important role in helping with the distribution efforts.
We do this every single day in our office. We understand how to talk with families and adults about vaccines. We understand how to deliver vaccines. We understand the workflow. We understand how to ramp things up quickly so we can make sure that we're giving vaccines safely and effectively.
The American Academy of Pediatrics they are pushing for their pediatrician offices to be included as possible location sites for adults who are eligible. So right now the CDC does not recommend people under the age of 16 get the COVID vaccines because clinical trials are still underway for kids. There's a lot to keep track of when it comes to COVID-19, testing sites, vaccination locations, and how to make an appointment. We have information on those topics and more at 11alive.com, or text the word vaccines to the number on your screen. You see it there, 404-885-7600, and we'll send a link directly to your phone. Testing remains one of the key tools in controlling coronavirus. Doctors at Emory and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta say a newly approved at-home rapid test could have a major impact on stopping the spread. Joe Ripley explains how the test works.
Dr. Wilbur Lamb with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta calls the innovation of at-home rapid tests, quote, groundbreaking, especially during a slow vaccine rollout.
Testing will always be important, especially for policy.
The FDA gave emergency use authorization for Illume, the first over-the-counter fully at-home diagnostic test for COVID-19 back in December. The development of the at-home rapid test took months, and more at-home tests are going through the FDA approval process now. Here's how it works. The test detects fragments of proteins of the novel coronavirus from a self-nasal swab sample from any person 2 years old and older. The test can send results to a smartphone within 15 to 20 minutes of receiving a sample. And results from a U.S. clinical study, the Illume COVID-19 home test correctly identified 96% of positive samples and 100% of negative samples in individuals with symptoms. And people without symptoms, the test correctly identified 91% of positive samples, 96% of negative samples. The Department of Defense recently did a $232 million deal with Illume to buy about 8 million tests. Lamb says this at-home rapid test will form part of the solution to reopening by combating asymptomatic spread of COVID-19.
A lot of people are trying to figure this out, and there's many stakeholders, as you can imagine, not just the communities, but businesses, schools. There's a lot of people at the table.
Production on the test is still ramping up, but the plan is to have these tests sold in drugstores, no prescription necessary, over the next several months.
12:07 the current time, and look at the clouds that we have outside. Man, you can see where the sun is shining through. Just on the building there, how bright it is on the side. The sun poking through some of those clouds will help to boost those temperatures up a little bit. Also, the southerly light winds that we have out there will help to boost those temperatures up a little bit as well. Really depends on how much sunshine we receive. I'm thinking 55 degrees for an afternoon high. You can see how the clouds are thinning out right now in the metro area here, but thicker clouds will move in, and we're watching the rain that's back off to the west of us over toward parts of Alabama. Will it make it here? Well, maybe a dot or two on your windshield. I think that will break up even as it heads over toward Randolph County, and will continue to slide further off to the north. Randolph, Claiborne County may get a few light showers, but then as it moves further into places like Carroll County, for example, you may just see a dot or two on your windshield. That'll be it. Don't let that stop you from getting out and getting some exercise in this milder air. 46 right now is the current temperature in Atlanta. You're looking at 45 degrees in Marietta, 37 in Blairsville, 39 degrees up in Clayton. Those are the two cool spots. I think everyone heats up into the 50s this afternoon. 55, my forecast high under cloudy skies pretty much for the rest of the day. Rain comes our way as we head into the evening. We're going to track that for you hour by hour coming up.
Chesley, thank you. This is developing a triple shooting at a home in northwest Atlanta. We first brought you this as breaking news on Morning Rush this morning. Police responding to a home on Center Hill Avenue around 1:30 this morning. Officers found a man dead in front of the home. The other two men were found inside with gunshot wounds. They are expected to survive. Police say the men knew each other and exchanged gunfire inside the home. Police are still trying to determine a motive. Stay with 11 Alive on air and online. As soon as we learn more details, we'll bring them to you. And the search is on for these three men who police say left employees terrified during an armed robbery at a Lawrenceville restaurant last month. Investigators say they entered through an open back door at Costa Pacifico restaurant while the workers were cleaning and held them at gunpoint. The thieves took off with phones, wallets, and jewelry from the employees before forcing the manager to give them money. Police say they then stole one of the employees' cars to get away. Police found the vehicle a few hours later on Sidney Marcus Boulevard here in Atlanta. A man is in custody after police say he crashed a stolen vehicle into the lobby of the Sheraton Atlanta on Cortlandt Street. This is new at noon. Police say the man got out of the vehicle and then ran inside the hotel. Police shut down the elevator and eventually located and arrested Houston Garner. APD telling us the vehicle was reported stolen out of Macon. No word yet on how much damage was caused to the hotel. Trust is an important part of the doctor-patient relationship even before this global pandemic. Still ahead, the critical efforts to build and keep it within communities of color.
Celebrating Black history, Shirley Chisolm was the first Black woman elected to the House of Representatives.
Atlanta Life Insurance Company proudly celebrates Black History Month.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up.
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
With all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store.
During Black History Month, many conversations are focusing on representation and how critical it is to see people who look like you in important roles. And that includes on the front lines of a pandemic that has disproportionately affected people of color. Chanu Hur takes a closer look at how Black medical staff members are building trust with patients.
It's a trust that's so important. The Black Coalition Against COVID crafted a love letter reminding those in the front lines that the safety and the health of Black America should be at the center of the conversation about the vaccine rollout and how we handle the pandemic. It's a sentiment shared by doctors and patients here in Atlanta.
Dear Black America, we love you.
Black doctor who love your whole everything, telling you ready to focus on this, and that is the number one reason I believe I'm still kicking it. You know, my brother never was under doctor care. He died at 53.
In the spirit of unconditional love for every single Black American, we have locked arms.
The reason that 80% of the population is seen by Black physicians is because generally the selection is based on where a patient feels safe.
And as Black health professionals, we have a higher calling to stand for racial justice and to fight for health equity.
1 foot in the hospital, 1 foot in your culture, that person truly is the bridge to bringing their patients to those touch points with the healthcare system.
We got to see more Black people. We got to see more Black nurses. We got to see more Black anything for us to be for our worlds to collide better.
What are your plans for this afternoon? Hopefully, maybe a little exercise, right? It's been a little cold lately, a little windy, and so maybe today will be the day you can get out there. Now, despite the cloud cover, you can see that up there, he still has on the shorts, right? Fleece with the hat, you know, so trying to, I guess, compromise the athleticism and the heat, or lack thereof. 55 degrees, our afternoon high temperature today with a southerly breeze about 9 miles per hour, so it will be mild this afternoon, but we will have those clouds in place. You may get a sprinkle or two, maybe a dot or two on your windshield, not a whole lot for this afternoon. Better chances for that rain won't come until later on tonight. It will be with us by tomorrow morning early in the wee hours. You'll hear that before you wake up. You're looking at temperatures in the 40s right now. We started out in the 30s and the 20s in a lot of spots, especially the outlying spots. But now in the 40s over toward Rome at 42, 42 also in Carrollton, 46 right now in Atlanta, 48 over in Athens. You're at 43 degrees in Gainesville, a couple 30s up here to the far north, 37 degrees right now in Blairsville, and 39 also over toward Clayton at the current tower. We'll be watching for that temperature to heat right on up as we head into the afternoon. It's going to be a decent day for us. We'll give it a 9 out of a possible 11 on the wazometer. Again, we started out with a little bit of sunshine, and you may notice the sun poking through the clouds just a little bit this afternoon, but not much. You're not going to see a whole lot of that. Again, clouds will eventually take over the area with thicker clouds moving in later on. Not a whole lot rainfall right now, as you see, back off to the west, but eventually we'll get that rain in here later on tonight as a cold front approaches our forecast area. In fact, it's going to remain up and down for us as far as the rain goes over the next couple of days. That's what we'll be watching for. There's the front back off to the west of us. Won't get in here until later on tonight, and we'll move through quite rapidly. I think most of the rain will be through the overnight while you're sleeping, and then once you wake up, that's when the rain should be ending for us, pushing a little bit further down to the south. Here's how it plays out. Our forecast track model, you can follow along with me with the time right there at the top of the screen. It shows the clouds in place for the rest of the afternoon. Here's rain by 10 o'clock tonight, back off to the west of us. Won't get into our state until closer to midnight. Down toward the metro area, this is 3:45 in the morning, and then moves just to the east of us by between 7 and 8 o'clock. A lot of that will be down to the south and east of our area. Notice the drying trying to take place. Don't get used to that. I think the clouds will build right back in. So even during the afternoon, by the time we hit noon, 1 o'clock, we'll still have a mix of sun and clouds during the day, much of the day on Friday. Overnight, clouds will break down. So when you wake up on Saturday morning, we'll have mostly sunny skies, looking pretty good. Don't get used to that. The clouds will move right back up from the south so that by the afternoon on Saturday, we'll wind up with mostly cloudy skies. And then here comes the rain. After about 6 or 7 o'clock, we'll have some showers around Saturday evening. It will linger through early Sunday morning, and then that gets out of the way. And then we kind of repeat it over the next couple of days. So we'll do it again late Monday going into Tuesday. That seems to be a pattern for us over the next couple of days. At least the temperatures will remain on the mild side. Looking at 58 on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday temperatures will be right near 60 degrees. Well, this week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week, and our Melissa Nord is telling us more about lightning.
It's lightning safe today here across Georgia in our Severe Weather Awareness Week. And did you know that lightning can happen between the cloud and the ground, and it can also happen within the cloud? So we have a variety of different types of lightning strikes, but lightning is dangerous, and this is important to know. It can be dangerous if not deadly, and each year we do see lightning-related fatalities here across the United States. And here are the stats on them. If we look at the activities of what people were doing when they were unfortunately taken victim to lightning strikes, they were doing outdoor activities. So what does this tell you? Being outside during lightning is not safe. You can see the top weather fatalities from fishing, beach, and camping over a 12-year period from 2006 to 2018. And believe it or not, they've actually broken down these victims of lightning strikes by gender. 80% of these victims were male, while only 20% were female. So here's what you need to know about lightning. And this is kind of a sticker shock for you. Lightning is hotter than the surface of the sun. Yes, lightning is hotter than the surface of the sun, so it's extremely dangerous. There's a lot of electrical charge in it, and it can be deadly, as we have seen. Thunder is the result from lightning. So when lightning, which is so hot, that electrical lightning bolt travels through the atmosphere, we see air rapidly heated, it rushes out, breaks the sound barrier, and that creates the sound of thunder. So thunder results from lightning. Anytime you hear thunder, there is lightning present. So it's very important for you to remember this saying. This is great to teach your kids as well, even if they're only in preschool. When thunder roars, go indoors. So anytime you hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning.
Chock full there, Melissa. More men struck by lightning. Home by 9 o'clock, the city of East Point continuing to push for a new stricter curfew following the shooting of 3 teens at Camp Creek Marketplace over the weekend. The city council plans to hear from the public during its meeting at 6:30 tonight before voting on the proposal. And if passed, violating the curfew would come with fines and possibly jail time. It is a question that has puzzled medical experts since the start of the pandemic. Why do some people become seriously ill from the coronavirus while others have minimal symptoms? Ahead, our Why Guy explains.
Chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dive.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next.
There are still so many mysteries surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. Medical experts are starting to get a clearer picture of why some people don't survive the virus while others don't get sick at all or have minimal symptoms. Here's our Why Guy.
We've learned so much, and yet there are still so many questions. The doctor at the forefront of the nation's coronavirus response has them.
It is very strange how one individual can get infected and have either mild or no symptoms, and another individual could rapidly deteriorate.
Months into this pandemic, we're still asking why some get deathly ill from COVID-19 while others are fine. We know that people with pre-existing conditions like heart disease and obesity are at higher risk of a serious reaction. Dr. Mary Beth Sexton of Emory University School of Medicine tells us pre-existing conditions only partially explain why some immune systems underreact while others overreact.
It attacks the virus so enthusiastically that you get swelling and inflammation in a lot of your organs. There is one study that did find that at least some of those cases have a genetic link. But again, it probably doesn't explain all of them.
2 separate studies found serious cases in patients who lacked some of the proteins typically involved in an immune response.
You have a genetic mutation which leads to you're either not producing it or producing a less amount than the average person, and your body might not be able to defend itself as well.
It still explains only a fraction of the serious cases.
We may not know completely who's vulnerable. And you could be vulnerable or have a family member who is and not know it. So this is just why it is absolutely essential that everybody takes precautions.
So much of the mystery surrounding this pandemic remains.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up.
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the Peachtrees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com.
We love this. It's a much needed thank you to our frontline workers. 8 Children's Healthcare of Atlanta employees are Super Bowl bound. They're getting an all-expense paid trip to Tampa, guests of the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL inviting 7,500 vaccinated healthcare heroes to the game in a way to honor them for their tireless work. And in a time when the pandemic and current events have left many people feeling isolated and more disconnected than ever, one Peachtree City woman is using social media to spark a wave of good deeds. It's a reminder that even small acts of kindness can go a long way. Liza Lucas explains.
It can be as simple as just a little note at the grocery store or sidewalk chalk messages on the sidewalk.
It's the little things, moments of kindness, words of encouragement that Debbie McFarland will tell you have potential for the greatest power.
It sounds like so insignificant, but I've seen like big things happen from just the smallest sparks.
What started as a birthday mission to spread good deeds sparked a fire in Debbie. So much so, she created a Facebook group dedicated not just to random acts of kindness, but daily, deliberate ones.
We just never know if somebody's, hanging on to their last thread of hope and how we can make a difference with our words or our actions.
Like a bag of quarters left at a laundromat, helping a mom relying on her last few dollars to get by. When the woman posted her thanks online, another member bought her a new dryer. With the pandemic and times of uncertainty, it's moments like these that Debbie believes are more important than ever.
Everybody that we see is facing a struggle, but I think now it's much more evident. Even my darkest days and grief or, despair, the one thing that could get me out of that is to do something small like this for somebody else.
At the end of the day, no spark of kindness too small when it comes to helping others.
A lot of people right now feel kind of hopeless and feel like their fire's kind of burnt out, but I promise you that there's still an ember glowing inside, and if you can just light that fire, it will make you want to do more, but it'll also spread that fire to somebody else.
We definitely need those reminders. And this reminder, news-wise, a vote is expected on the House floor in about a half hour to an hour on a resolution to strip controversial Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments. You can learn the results of the vote by downloading the 11Alive app and enabling alerts. Thank you so much for watching 11Alive News at noon. Stay safe, everyone.
Approved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the Peachtrees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.